that affected the plans of the Ministry of Education in opening the schools?
Thank you so much, Honorable, for the question and for the opportunity to clarify issues. We are inundated with a lot of queries and people needing to understand what is really happening. The original stand of the ministry was informed by the fact that we are on holiday. I would say we are on holiday up to tomorrow, which we had brought forward from between April and May to run concurrent with the first lockdown, while avoiding losing contact time with the teachers and learners. We had informed our teachers that come 20th, if the lockdown is out, of which was supposed to be yesterday, tomorrow, they would still be at home, but be duty bound. They would still be working from home, but active in a way that they can, while observing the World Health Organization health protocols, they could still move from home to a school where you feel unsafe and do something in school, or you can do it at home. You can start communicating with other teachers on the available platforms. That was the stand. But with the current extension, which is extended to the whole country, which is affecting where our teachers find themselves now also, there is some similarities on what we said before, but then there are also changes which might affect the way forward of what we wanted to do with our teachers. The extension now says the lockdown is now countrywide. Wherever you find yourself tomorrow at that time, stay there. Do not move. And this is informed by the Minister of Health's elaboration, which he did so concretely, elaboratively on the day that the President, His Excellency, announced the lockdown. He was given an opportunity to say why the extension. And if you looked at him, I mean, listen very carefully. What he was saying is to say there is a need for the Minister of Health to be able to have a focused control of the spread of the virus, and thus everybody is required to be where they are. What does that mean? Does that mean to our teachers now? We have a staff component of more than 30,000 teachers. And these 30,000 teachers, wherever they find themselves today and tomorrow, is where they could have gone with the thought of coming back if the lockdown could have been lifted tomorrow. But now what applies to the whole country applies also to our teachers who are finding themselves in areas which we call not being their own duty stations, duty areas.
What does that mean?
This means you may find, even though the zones are not declared yet, we do not know, because the country is going to be divided into zones, which are still to be announced. But what it means is that this teacher may find herself or himself in an area which is far remote from the school where they usually operate, which is their duty stations. If, for example, it said you stay in one region and you are in Oshana now, and you teach in Merongo, it means for the next plus minus 2 weeks, from the tomorrow to the 4th of May, stay where you are. Even if you are teaching in Merongo, you stay in Oshana, you are there now, stay there. Teachers, wherever you are, stay duty bound. Do something. The holiday is over. Our holiday is over tomorrow. Stay at home, stay where you are, do something on learning. Start looking at your daily preparations, start communication with other teachers on available platforms. We'll still talk about that one in length. Start doing something, but remain there. Because what that means is, as I said, we have a component of more than 30 teachers, 30,000. If you now say, teachers, for us to make it easy for you, you should be allowed to move and stay at least in your area of duty, of kind of duty station. This will mean you have 30,000 plus people moving. Because if you look at a family, maybe husband and wife and 4 children, you will take 30 plus 4 times 30, if you can calculate it like that. Although not necessarily may all the teachers would like to move. We lucky enough, we are likely to capitalize more on the teachers who find themselves now in their area of duty, close to their schools, in their regions, whereby you could say, while observing the World Health Organization health protocols, see what you can do within the vicinity of your school. The principal can go to school and say, my teachers, come over, we need to work on the school preparedness before the children return. Because what we are saying is, as much as we are saying, come 20th, holiday is over, teachers are on duty where they are, they should now move from the mode of holiday into the mode of work from home, like all of us has been doing. Okay. The learners, we are saying, learners stay home. They stay home because we are still waiting to be informed further by the Minister of Health. That minister will be given the power to direct this country and advise us on the basis of the expertise that they have. Is it safe now for us to say children go back to schools? Why? It will be very difficult for us to adhere to the laid down health regulations with the number of children, which is plus minus, not plus minus, more than 800,000 learners. For them to go to the schools, in the hostels, in the classrooms, where they cannot observe all these laid down regulations. We'd rather have them safely at home while we are working on what we are saying, developing and enhancing online education resources together with our teachers, and I'm going to talk about that one at length because there are also questions. What do you do with everybody? Will this reach everybody? We with my team who are here today, we want to elaborate more on what is it that we really think would work and relatively help. We are talking about relativity here because we are in a situation where definitely nobody planned for it. But when we are in a situation where, as responsible citizens with a mandate, we cannot just say we let go of everything until such time the pandemic is over. We want to be doing something. So that's what it means.
All right.
Accessibility, we are not starting afresh. We are just saying we are enhancing what we have already started. Education has got some institutions which are offering open learning. And our main institution is NAMPO. In NAMPO, we want to capitalize more on what NAMPO has started because of the nature of education that they offer, which is open learning, where they need to reach their students wherever they are. NAMPO, since 2013, they came up with an initiative which is called Notes Master, Namibia Notes Master Initiative, whereby teaching learning materials are developed by teachers, made easy for students to understand, whereby question quizzes are done, multiple and then it's uploaded from the system, and it's shared across by the students. And mind you, NAMCOL uses our own teachers which we have in our mainstream schools. These materials literally are developed by our own teachers. So, what are we saying now? We are saying with Notes Master, we want to expand. NAMCOL usually concentrated only on senior secondary, mainly grade 10 and 12, because this is the examinations they used to offer. But now we are saying, in this situation, we need to immediately, and we have already started working on. And before I even forget, I would like to mention that many of our teachers are already on board, from primary to secondary. They are saying, we have been producing material online already. We have got banks of materials developed already, which we can share already with other teachers, with our learners. So, now what we are saying is to say, we are going to enhance and strengthen and expand on the material development.
That already exists.
That already exists. Okay. And mind you, many of the materials that are existing are based on the old curriculum, which we call the legacy curriculum, although it's not necessarily so different from the revised one. We need to relook at those ones also and bring in the concepts of the revised curriculum. That's one thing. The other thing that we need to do on Notes Master is we need to increase the coverage of subjects, all the subjects to be covered. And with Notes Master, we want to concentrate more on secondary, because I'm still going to talk about the other program that we have. Secondary 8 to 12. Now what we are busy doing, and I'm happy to say our teachers are already on board. We are identifying expert teachers. Some of them are volunteering. Come the 20th, across the regions, we want to come up with what we call, or maybe identify some schools, resource centers, as material development hubs, where you can say, our teachers in small groups of subjects, they form subjects groups, they are already online, communicating with each other. Do whatever you do, either at home, or you may say, we come together at the hub and develop materials, look at the subjects like mathematics, look at what are the key concepts, how do we teach them, and then these are uploaded, and then this is quality assured by our education officers, both in the Ministry of Education and NAMCOL. Okay. And then it's sent forward to all the teachers now, which is really a thing that brings us together as a community of learning. It's not a matter of now anymore, I'm sitting at my school, I'm doing my own thing alone. Yes, you do your own thing, even if after COVID. This is something that we are so much excited about, because we are going to break the silos. We are going to break the isolation of the teachers with this one. Now, the question will remain, but how do you reach every child? We know that there are, especially if you look at secondary schools, many of our children have got cell phones. And teachers can reach their own children, they can identify them, and I will still ask one of my, the Deputy Director IT, to explain how Microsoft is helping us to bring all the programs we have together and make the accessibility possible. We've got many stakeholders on board already, Microsoft, NBC, MTC, Telecom. We are working on reducing of prices for data, the issues of connectivity, although connectivity is still a problem that I'm going to talk about, which Telecom and us has been working on all these years. But we are saying, for the children, we know that not all of them have got cell phones, not all of them have got tablets, not all of their parents have got cell phones or computers, although the majority, many of them has, but we are concerned more. And our emphasis is to say, don't leave any child out. So what we are doing is, with our materials developed, we are going to pull those out download them, print them out, especially now, this brings me to primary education. With primary, we want to use our Copano platform. Copano is a teacher's virtual platform where our teachers are communicating with each other concerning their subjects. They exchange ideas, best practices, they exchange even lesson plans, how to do things. Now we want to ensure that all our teachers make sure that their children, students, are also registered on Copano. Those that have got accessibility to technology gadgets which can enable them to get access to the online information. But we have got lower primary, especially from grade pre-primary 1 to 3, those ones. We are saying our teachers again are trained thoroughly on development materials. We have got a big pool of those teachers. Many of them are already on board also, especially our primary teachers. They are coming to say, we are trained, we have the facilities. Some of us, we have already uploaded the information, we need to share it. Our teachers, after having those information uploaded, we want to print it out, and then, having printed them out, we come up with something that we call learner packages. Small packages, packaged according to competencies. Simple ones, which parents can use with their children at home. Mind you, our lower primary is taught in their vernacular. If you take a school in Ogediva, where I come from, and we have got a hub of teachers who develop those materials, we take these materials, we work with the councillors, traditional authorities, all the structures down there, the whole system of government. We say we have all these specs to take to the children at home for them to sit with the parents for coloring, and we will use the grants in schools. That's why we are saying at least teachers should be active now. Even though teachers may not find themselves at their own duty area, a teacher is a teacher. We are saying even the teachers that find themselves in areas which is not their duty areas, if with the coordination of our directors of education, our inspectors of education, the system is so much decentralized. They can still come together with all the other teachers there, while I always come back to the issue of observing health, health regulations.